Long gone are the days when you had to write some extensive manuscript and submit it to a publishing house and wait for them to tell you if you're approved or not approved. I mean, that entire process knocked a lot of people down. Amazon has really changed the game. It's really revolutionized the entire writing process. You can self-publish, you could hybrid publish, you could publish to a traditional publishing house, or you could publish ebooks. And while I love that Amazon has opened up a lot of doors for people that desire to write and to share their story or to share their expertise with the world, there are a lot of cons to this as well. Some of that includes that some people approach the publishing process all wrong and they make some major mistakes, which is why some people do really, really well with publishing and other people struggle. So today I want to talk about the 4 mistakes that writers make, whether it's an actual book or an ebook, 4 mistakes that writers make and how you can avoid them. The first mistake that writers make when writing your books or ebooks is that they try to talk to everyone. Hear me when I say that if you write a book to everyone, you actually write a book to no one. So it's important for you to know your audience. What does your audience want? What is your audience looking for? What is your audience struggling with? What are their pain points? Consider these things before you try to write to everyone. For example, if you're writing a time management book, sure, men could benefit from it, but women could benefit from it as well. But the way you approach the topic is going to look different based on your audience. So it's important that you understand your audience to a T so that you understand how to cater your writing to them. That goes along with mistake number 2, which is understanding what your audience wants. So for example, maybe you're really passionate about yoga and you're like, I want to put together an ebook on yoga. But you don't know what aspect of yoga you want to attack, what aspect you want to address. It's really going to depend on what it is that your audience wants. So is your audience trying to understand how to begin yoga? Is your audience trying to understand how to fit yoga in a busy schedule? Your job is to understand what your audience wants so that you can cater what you're writing to them as well. You don't want to try to cover it all too much or very overwhelming because you may miss what they're looking for. Which brings me to the third mistake that writers often make is that they try to cover too much or try to go too broad, but not in depth. While information is amazing, what people really want is transformation. That's quality writing. So what I mean by that is don't just say, here are 10 different books that you can write. Say, here are 10 different books that you can write, and here's how you can write them, right? So you want to make sure that you're not just listing information because people can Google information, but your job is to really transform the way that they think about it and the way that they approach the particular topic that you're writing on. I see this a lot when people try to focus on like page count or word count or anything like that because they want so much. They're just focusing on the fluff of it all, right? Like the size. How long does my ebook need to be? How long does my actual book need to be? And here's what I always say. As long as you have the content that you know your audience is seeking, it doesn't matter if it is 100 pages. It doesn't matter if it's 30 pages. It doesn't matter if it's 15 pages. I have read ebooks that are 10 pages long that have transformed my life. And I've read physical books that are 200 pages long that I wish I would have stopped in the first 5. So it's really about the information that you're giving. Don't ever try to cover it up with fluff because that's the quickest way to distract your audience, lose your audience, and frustrate them as well. Finally, the 4th mistake that I see a lot of writers making is that they don't take into consideration what their cover looks like. Here's the reality, right? Let's just call a spade a spade. Books are 100% judged by their cover, meaning that if someone is scrolling Amazon or if they're walking in Barnes and Nobles or even if they're on your landing page on your website and they see the cover of your ebook or your physical book and it's not appealing to them, they're going to go right past it. It does not matter how great of content you have inside the book. If they can't get beyond the cover, they'll never move into the next stage. So it's important that you consider what cover is going to be appealing to your audience. Understand what colors stand out to them. Understand what font is attractive to them. Understand what images stand out to them. And figure out how you can incorporate all of this to make a standout cover in order to help people take that next step, purchase your book or ebook, and change their life. All in all, the process of writing can be challenging, right? It requires sacrifice. It requires research. It requires discipline. It requires a little bit of like transparency or vulnerability. But here's what I'm going to tell you. While it requires all of that, the entire process is so worth it. I started writing back in 2016, and my entire life changed because I made that decision to say yes. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Someone's breakthrough is tied up in your ability to share your voice with the world. So don't quiet yourself. Don't make excuses. Don't let things get in the way. If you have a desire or a calling to start writing, why not profit from your passion? Why not write and share your story? When you do that, you have an opportunity to not only increase your income, but also to increase your impact at the exact same time. The best news is there's a million different ways to approach it. Like I said, you can go the traditional route. You can go the self-publishing route. You can choose to write a physical book. You can choose to write an ebook. All I say is get started writing. And here's the cool thing. If you have this passion or this desire or this level of expertise, you probably already have a lot of content in your brain, on napkins, in text messages, and old emails, maybe on a blog, maybe on social media posts. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Your job is to pull it together to be able to deliver a beautiful manuscript to the world. So if you're looking for the tools to get started writing an ebook, definitely use the link below where you can sign up for my Write an Ebook That Sells training. You are not going to want to miss this. I offer you an opportunity to be trained on the most important steps to take to write an ebook that sells. You get a workbook and a companion journal with it. It's amazing. If you're looking for tools to get started writing a physical book, you can sign up below using my Aspiring Author Jumpstart Kit. With the Aspiring Author Jumpstart Kit, I give you the tools you need to jumpstart your author journey. Trust me when I say that you need to do something today that your future self would thank you for. So use the links below and sign up, and I can't wait to see you on the inside.